afternoon, everyone. Hannah Anderson here with Amy Carlson. Can you believe today, 23 years working with Share Your Holidays as part of our phone-a-thon?
And we have some operators standing by and ready to take your calls. Remember, all donations are doubled throughout this entire day, whether you call our phone bank or also if you donate online.
We also want to bring some updated information to you because of NBC's coverage of the funeral today for former President Bush. We had a Mike's Miracle Minute at 12:58, but we are working to bring that update to you when you can do that. Again, that's where donations are tripled out of respect for the funeral. We have chosen to go live here on Facebook, and we will keep you updated on that next opportunity.
All right, but first let's talk a little bit more about Share Your Holidays and Second Harvest Food Bank that all of this donates. So we're going to bring in Chris from Second Harvest first off. We've had a fun day. We've had a fun day so far.
You know, the day started early, but you know what? We've still got many hours to go, and you know, we're just super excited for another Share Your Holidays.
And let's talk a little bit, Chris, about what is the face of hunger? What do hungry people look like?
Well, that's the thing. There is no one face of hunger. Young, old, white, black, male, female, it does not matter. You cannot look at somebody and say, oh, they're struggling with hunger, or oh, they're not struggling with hunger, because you just never know. And so there really, truly is no one face of hunger.
And so there's no one type of client that walks through Second Harvest?
Absolutely not. You know, they look all completely different. You know, when you send your kid off to school, you don't know. Maybe that child sitting next to them has struggled with hunger. Maybe they didn't have breakfast that morning. Maybe they didn't even have dinner the night before. You just never know.
And we've covered a number of stories throughout this time that it can be anyone from a senior citizen to a college student and also to a young child, and it makes just as a significant impact to all of them.
It really does, and especially when you think about especially the kids, right? I mean, they're going through such a growth stage and going through a time when you know, they're supposed to be learning, but they don't have the great opportunity to learn because they're struggling with hunger. They don't have the nutrition that they need in order to really get all those brain synapses kind of working, right? So, you know, that's why you get some schools that are out there now that when there's a big like a test, like a school-wide test, they intentionally go ahead and serve them breakfast so they know that the kids have a nutritious meal before they take this test, because they know it makes a difference.
You know, my mom always used to say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that's still true.
And it absolutely is, and that really helps the kids learn, but obviously breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and making sure that they're nutritious as well is super important, because empty calories they're helpful in the short term, but in the long term, they actually hurt. So it's really that combination of not only a meal, but make sure it's healthy.
All right, well, we're going to turn it over to Hannah Anderson, and she'll be talking with Dan Stein.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Amy.
Sure.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, how
It's
are you?
good. And this day is such a special day for Second Harvest. We know the impact for Second Harvest. You guys help more than 200 different agencies you're working with, multiple counties in southwestern Wisconsin. Talk to us about the scope.
Well, statistically, 1 in every 10 people that live in southwest Wisconsin, the 16 counties we serve, is food insecure sometime during the course of the year. And more alarming than that, it's 1 in every 6 children. So when we take a look at the work we're doing, there's a national study that comes out called the Missing Meals Gap. It identifies the traits that make a person food insecure, and they estimate there's 22 million meals missing in southwestern Wisconsin. And then you take a look at the work people like us and others do to meet that need, and despite our efforts of providing 14 million meals last year, there's still many, many meals that no one are providing.
You know, I think anybody who has gone to a pantry or had to use the pantry or a mobile pantry, they're getting fresh food also. Can you speak to that a little bit more and the need for that?
Well, there's a saying called foods to encourage, which are healthy, nutritious food. And our goal is to continue to increase the percentage of that type of food that's in our warehouse. We're dependent on the wonderful donations that come from the food manufacturers. But when we have an option or a choice, we make sure we focus on healthy, nutritious food. And this year, we are working with the fields in California, Texas, and Florida to bring in 30 semi-loads of fresh produce to make sure that there's healthy, nutritious food available.
Doesn't that ring of the phone make you happy every time you hear it?
I love hearing that, and I love hearing and knowing that the people behind it fully support what we're doing and the impact we're making and the difference that is necessary to meet the needs in our community.
And I know Second Harvest helps year-round, obviously, families in our area. How big does this day compare to the rest of the day when it comes to donations and the impact we can really make as a community here on the Phone-a-thon?
Well, this day represents a significant portion of what we raise in a given year, but unfortunately, hunger doesn't take a vacation after this is over. It exists 12 months a year. In fact, the summer is the highest when kids are out of school. So this day is very, very important to springboard us into doing the programs and activities that we hope to do in the next year and beyond.
Thank you so much. We'll be talking with you all day, Dan, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. The impact, Amy, the impact.
It's unbelievable. And we're having a few questions on the phone lines right now. We will let you know when a Mike's Miracle Minute is coming up. Those only occur when we're live on TV. And right now we're on Facebook. So out of respect to former President Bush, we are waiting until the funeral coverage is over, and then we'll keep you posted and let you know when the next Mike's Miracle Minute will be held. And that, of course, is when your donation is tripled, thanks to our local businesses who have provided sponsorships.
It is amazing in the 23 years, and this all started with Mike McKinney, in 1996. I mean, that's amazing to think of how many families Second Harvest has worked with, helped, and today people at home, it's as easy as calling in, even if you can give 50 cents, $1, anything. It's amazing the impact a Mike's Miracle Minute and all day can really make.
And the saying for, of course, this campaign has been just one more meal.
Yeah.
And one more meal makes such a difference. Every dollar provides about 3 meals or so. Now our next Mike's Miracle Minute will be at 1:58.
Yes.
So at 1:58 when you call, Hannah and I will be here, and through that minute your donation will be tripled. So we have all of our operators standing by.
Yes.
If you call right now, if it's a better time for you, your donation will be doubled. So you're still getting bang for the buck.
Yes, absolutely.
If you donate right now.
And that number is 1-844-8-HUNGER. Again, 1-844-8-HUNGER. I think we should talk to a couple of the volunteers if they're willing. Let's see.
Well, we
I know
already talked to Chris.
Yeah, we already talked to Chris. Maybe we'll go around here and talk to a couple people. We know Dan and some of our friends from Wells Fargo here today. Christina, tell us a little bit about who you're talking with and anybody sticking out in your mind from any of the callers.
I would say all the callers, they're great, they're wonderful. Please keep calling in. One more meal.
Yeah, and what can you explain when they call in? What can they expect? I mean, do you have any questions, or what's the process like for them to give?
I would say the process is very fast and we're very friendly, so please call in.
What about you, Brian? Can you tell us a little bit about your experience so far?
It's been good. We've had a good amount of calls coming in, and we've raised a lot of money so far.
Good. Friendly.
Friendly, very friendly.
We need to keep them awake. We need to keep the phones going. We need on top of the caffeine. Thank you, both of you, for your time. This is what this is all about.
And we also had word that you took a pretty significant phone call too. A few $100s.
I took a donation for $300 during Mike's Miracle Minute, so it turned into a $900 donation.
Hannah, if you're good at math, can you figure out how many meals that is quick? That's awesome. Oh, thank you.
That away.
He's all on top of it.
See, that's what we want to hear. Whether we can have anybody give either, again, $1 to $300, the impact you can make today by calling in 1-844-8-HUNGER. You really can impact and help so many families.
And we've had people here all morning sorting donations. A little bit of lull in the action right now, but they will all be back in about an hour or so this afternoon, starting to sort through all the food that's been donated by so many groups and organizations to go directly to Second Harvest.
Absolutely. So we will keep you posted. 1:58 is the next Mike's Miracle Minute, where your donation will be tripled. Again, call in. Let's help our community and work together.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us on Facebook. We hope to hear from you.